This is a play called In the Next Room, or The Vibrator Play.
Coming next week is a play known for its hysterical adult content.
It's a very adult play. It is not for kids.
Oh yeah, it's very unlike most things we do here and most things that I've done in my time doing theater.
It is a really funny play. It's even funnier than I realized until I started working on it.
This award-winning show is about marriage, intimacy, and electricity.
In the Next Room takes place in late 1800s New York, and it's about the time when the invention of the vibrators was just kind of coming about, and vibrators were originally invented to treat women with hysteria.
It's about the treatment of hysteria by doctors at that time, and the most popular treatment in the late 19th century, dating all the way back to ancient Greece, was by using some kind of manipulation of women's genitals. And finally, it is about racism. It's about the relationship between white people and black people in the late 19th century in America.
Director Jennifer Chapman talks about all the hard work she put in making the show historically correct.
The play is a really important historical story. It is important that what we see and hear on stage is historically accurate. So I really enjoyed creating that with the production team.
Performer Laura Schlichting talks about how she connects with her character.
I play Mrs. Givings, the wife of Dr. Givings, and she's very energetic. She doesn't quite fit into the role that women usually played in society in late 1800s. She's very curious, which wasn't common for women back then, and she has a little bit of issue with impulse control, and she just says whatever she thinks, which is kind of interesting. She talks all the time, which is a little bit tricky for me to get used to, because I'm more of a person that I think a lot before I talk, and I kind of think through things and take pauses, and my director was like, you have to take out so many of the pauses that you're doing right now.
With performing comes costumes, and In the Next Room entails costumes that aren't necessarily the most comfortable.
I'd worn a corset before for another show I did here, Dracula, so I was used to it. I hadn't worn one in a while, but I knew what it was like, and so watching my fellow actresses who had never worn corsets before get laced up the first night was kind of interesting, because they were all just like, this is the worst thing that's ever happened.
In the late 19th century, women wore very tight corsets, which sometimes contributed to their hysterical symptoms. And they wore, on the back here, they wore a bustle that kind of poofed out the back of their dress.
The Vibrator Show not only brings laughter and history, but also a deeper message.
I think that the through line between all of the characters' stories, black and white, is that if we go through life disconnected from our bodies, we are not fully alive.
So get ready, Eau Claire, because In the Next Room is coming at you.
The show is going to take place in Care Theater, which is over in Brewer Hall.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at 7:30 p.m. and then next Saturday and Sunday at 1:30 p.m.
But if you want to get tickets, you can get them at the Service Center in Davies, or you can get them online, or you can get them at the box office, I believe, an hour before the show starts. The box office usually opens.
Make sure to catch this hilarious show next week. For Blue Gold News Now, I'm Kaylin Schumacher.